Hello everyone and welcome back to Crypto Channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're gonna talk about XRP. And I gotta start with this. Analyst says XRP is oversold. Now, this could be a good thing. The current technical setup suggests that XRP is closer to a stabilization phase than a fresh breakdown. While oversold conditions do not guarantee immediate upside, they typically mark areas where downside risk begins to compress and strategic positioning becomes more favorable. For traders who prioritize structure and confirmation, this moment represents a shift from reactive selling to patient observation as the market prepares for its next decisive move. So right now, what they're saying is people are more likely to position themselves instead of selling off what they already have, making sure that they don't sell before it happens. In other words, that's why I always tell you, you always stay positioned, because when XRP looks like it's at its worst, that's usually when the breakout begins. XRP is now a means of payment in Japan. So for years, critics have questioned whether crypto assets would ever move beyond speculation into daily economic life. While debates continue elsewhere, parts of Asia continue to advance quietly, integrating blockchain technology into real-world payment systems. Japan, in particular, has built a reputation for adopting financial innovation only after it meets strict standards for reliability, efficiency, and regulation. And in Japan, you can already pay with XRP. That looks so much smoother than when the president tried to pay at that bar with Bitcoin. But this shows you that crypto can be utilized to make payments in most parts of the world. Soon, it will be all parts of the world. Rumor, PlayStation Network will integrate XRP payments in 2026. Now imagine, this is a rumor, and they write an entire article about a rumor. This is just speculation and made up. We don't need that for XRP. People still don't realize that yet. Every day I see rumor this, rumor that. Rumor this week BlackRock's going to file for a spot XRP ETF. Every single week somebody says that. If they were going to do it, I think they would have already done it. That's why I think something bigger is happening between BlackRock and Ripple. But it goes even beyond that. People are like, oh, the U.S. government just confirmed they're going to buy X amount of XRP. They don't realize yet. Most people still have not figured out that XRP has actual use case and utility. It doesn't need hype or speculation. Pro-XRP lawyer John Deaton slams Warren's crypto war as Wall Street doubles down on crypto. So John Deaton once again slammed anti-crypto Senator Elizabeth Warren, saying that she had lost her war on crypto. He says Schwab, Vanguard, Fidelity, Morgan Stanley, and even Jamie Dimon says crypto is here to stay. Someone tell Warren she lost the crypto war and her anti-crypto army has been dismantled. Soon, Gary Gensler will come out saying he was for crypto all along. I thought that was great. But she still has not got the memo. There are still politicians in Washington that want the crypto crackdown to continue because they're getting their pockets lined by the big banks. Look at what the banks are trying to do now. They're trying to stop rewards on stablecoins. Why? Because they want to keep control. They don't want people emptying out their savings and checking account and going all in on stablecoins, because people are going to do that. As more and more people figure out that they can earn 4 or 5% by holding stable coins, they're leaving the bank. The bank is never going to make you rich. You know, the banking system sucks, and they're doing literally nothing to try to fix it. They're not trying to come up with innovative ways to bring new customers through the door. I still think they're going to cap out how much you can earn on a stable coin. I think that is going to be one of the things that drop this week. Most likely they will cap it out at 2.5 or 3%. This way they can get the Clarity Act passed, because they're going to have to give up something when it comes to earning off of stablecoins. If they don't, this thing is never getting past the finish line. Currently recruiting for 2 director-level positions at Ripple. Partner Success Director, London and New York. But Ripple is doing a hell of a lot more hiring than just those 2 positions. 79 jobs they have listed. And this is a huge list. Ripple is planning major expansion throughout this year. I'm telling you now, we are only at the beginning of how big Ripple is about to become. We are only at the beginning of understanding how high the price of XRP can go. Everybody always said $10,000. That's going to be the top price for XRP. You start looking around now, looking at tokenization and beyond and possible scarcity. XRP, in my opinion, it can possibly get to 6 digits at some point. Who's to say it stops at $10,000? Everything is going to gather more and more value year over year as well. And Ripple is well positioned when it comes to enterprise and institutional adoption. But 79 jobs, that tells you this is going to be a huge year. And this comes from Paul Barron. Massive. White House just confirmed President Trump wants to remove tax on Bitcoin and crypto transactions. If this moves from rhetoric to law, here's what it means. Every day, Bitcoin and crypto payments become frictionless. No more tracking tiny taxable events on every swipe. Capital flows chase the friendliest jurisdictions. U.S. competes with Dubai, Singapore, Hong Kong, and the crypto capital. As the crypto capital, on-ramps, wallets, payment apps, and stablecoin rails go parabolic, as using crypto for commerce finally makes economic sense. But right now, it's just more talk until these things start actually happening. They need to put time frames on it. You want me to believe that this is going to happen? Set a deadline on it. That way it makes it more believable. Everything that this president says sounds great and everybody wants it to happen. But if you don't put a time frame on it or a deadline, I don't see it ever happening. Remember, there wasn't supposed to be taxes on U.S. made cryptocurrencies. That still hasn't happened either. RAND policy paper, AI and crypto in financial services. Mentions XRP for payments. Interesting report. Notably, seeks to point out crypto is more than Bitcoin. This paper went hard on Bitcoin. I'll talk more about that in a minute. But this is one of the things that they cited in this paper. Ripple's XRP cryptocurrency, for instance, facilitates peer-to-peer payments in under 5 seconds, including cross-border remittances, with an average transaction fee of less than 1 penny. Integrating AI into these systems might drive friction and transaction cost even lower. I'm telling you, we are going to see XRP being utilized within AI. You are literally holding the robot money because the robots are not going to be transacting in fiat. They're not going to be handing each other paper dollars. They're going to be transacting in crypto, in stable coins, and so on. But cryptocurrency is more than just Bitcoin. Crypto refers to private sector digital assets that use cryptography, and distributed ledger technology to process transactions without needing intermediaries. The digital asset ecosystem that has emerged around crypto enables peer-to-peer exchange over the internet, as well as novel ways of providing financial services. And then they even talk about illegal activities, money laundering, and how Bitcoin just is not well suited for any of this. And then they talk about the rise of AI and fully automated payment systems. That is absolutely coming. The new financial system is going to be fully automated. Everything, you're not going to have a human involved in any way. AI is going to be running the entire new financial system. And take notice, they even talk about this going back to the 1980s. That's with the David Schwartz, where he developed with the NSA blockchain technology. And remember, this is one of the things I've always talked about on this channel, how technology is pushing forward is what's going to bring to the end of Bitcoin. Take a listen to this.
The first technology was never the best technology.
Wire, AOL, you looking at it?
They all disappeared. Netscape gone. The first internet companies didn't even survive. I'm not saying Bitcoin won't survive, but mark my words, in 5 to 10 years from now, when the industry gets more mature and people realize like, okay, this is a store of value. It's already like 5 trillion, 10 trillion or whatever. And now we have utility. Once it matures, like, first of all, my bottom line is the first invention never even survived.
Right.
Websites, the first internet companies, AOL, it didn't survive. The first airplane was not the best airplane. The first microwave, the first car was not the best car. The first airplane was not the best airplane. The first microwave, the first TV, the first VCR, the first DVD player, it was not the best, and they didn't survive. So why people are thinking that Bitcoin is the only and best one? Logically, historically, it does not make sense.
Do you believe that your XRP, XLM, XCC, HBAR, QNT, Chainlink utility assets, will they flip Bitcoin at some point? Will Bitcoin remain the number one coin forever?
No, some of them have to flip. I think, for me, in my opinion, they absolutely have to flip it. There's no way, because of the utility. To learn more.
Like he said, utility is what's going to end Bitcoin. And I don't think it's going to take 5 years. I think this is going to happen within the next couple of years because utility is about to kick in for these utility-driven cryptocurrencies. Wait until digital trade starts to really amp up around the world. XDC is going to skyrocket in price. XRP, when it breaks out, it's taking XLM with it. XLM is going to be a high-valued cryptocurrency in the future, just like XRP, just like XLM, just like QNT, and so on. But Bitcoin was always just a beta test coin. It was never meant to be part of the future. And as technology continues to advance, it leaves Bitcoin in the past. There's no new use cases coming for Bitcoin. There's nothing that's going to upgrade Bitcoin. It is what it is. Its future is becoming a tokenized asset running across the XRP ledger. BlackRock's even going to tokenize those Bitcoin ETFs. Wait and see. That will happen. They want to tokenize everything of value. But the real winners are going to be these networks that these tokenized assets are sitting on. Those are going to be the top 10 cryptocurrencies. Federal prosecutors have opened an inquiry into Fed Chair Jerome Powell. And what they're talking about, I've seen so much speculation on this. People are saying, oh, that's because he went lower the rates and so on. But this is all about that new upgrade to those buildings, those renovations that are being made. And here's Jerome Powell talking about it.
Good evening. On Friday, the Department of Justice served the Federal Reserve with grand jury subpoenas, threatening a criminal indictment related to my testimony before the Senate Banking Committee last June. That testimony concerned in part a multi-year project to renovate historic Federal Reserve office buildings. I have deep respect for the rule of law and for accountability in our democracy. No one, certainly not the chair of the Federal Reserve, is above the law. But this unprecedented action should be seen in the broader context of the administration's threats and ongoing pressure. This new threat is not about my testimony last June or about the renovation of the Federal Reserve buildings. It is not about Congress's oversight role. The Fed, through testimony and other public disclosures, made every effort to keep Congress informed about the renovation project. Those are pretexts. The threat of criminal charges is a consequence of the Federal Reserve setting interest rates based on our best assessment of what will serve the public, rather than following the preferences of the president. This is about whether the Fed will be able to continue to set interest rates based on evidence and economic conditions, or whether instead monetary policy will be directed by political pressure or intimidation. I have served at the Federal Reserve under 4 administrations, Republicans and Democrats alike. In every case, I have carried out my duties without political fear or favor, focused solely on our mandate of price stability and maximum employment. Public service sometimes requires standing firm in the face of threats. I will continue to do the job the Senate confirmed me to do, with integrity and a commitment to serving the American people.
So that's what it comes down to. Now, here's what I'm hoping doesn't happen. I'm hoping that the Democrats or some of the Republicans or somebody in Washington does not use this as a reason to delay the Clarity Act, because you know how they'll take one situation and tie it in with other situations in Washington. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen in any way. I'm saying I'm hoping they don't do that. But when it comes down to Powell, he does not answer to the president. His boss is sitting at the BIST, at the IMF and the World Bank. He is tied in with all the other central bankers. And I see what's going on here, and I don't feel bad for Powell at all, because I think the Fed, what they do is they create inflation and then pretend to fight inflation. And I think we should just end the Fed. That's where we should go moving forward. Because honestly, we would probably be better off without the Fed to begin with. But let's see where this goes from here. And one other thing that's happening right now is this. X is the best source for financial news, and hundreds of billions of dollars are deployed based on things people read here. We're building smart cash tags that allow you to specify the exact asset or smart contract when posting a ticker. From Timeline, users will be able to tap them to see its real price along with all mentions of that asset. We're aiming to collect feedback as we iterate towards a public release next month. Wait until you are able to buy these assets right on X. That's where this is headed. But I want to see how good this is once it comes out next month. One thing I do know is when it comes to X and Elon Musk, that's all part of that PayPal mafia. And I'm telling you now, Ripple is tied in there as well. And everybody's always like, oh, Elon loves Bitcoin. Elon loves Doge. But when it comes down to payments and micropayments, which are going to be utilized across X in the future, you know which cryptocurrency is going to best fit that situation. And you're holding it. But until it all happens, stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.